I don't know how I would have come out of this situation if not for your help. Now I am free and healed.
Stripped off every shred of dignity and self-worth by a dehumanizing medical condition, obstetric fistula made life almost meaningless for Abna.
I have really suffered. I wore a catheter all the way to Accra. I was very restless. I couldn't drink water. I couldn't even sit. During those times, I wish I was dead so that the suffering ends. In fact, if not for the children, I would have killed myself. I was so serious about that.
Join me in the second part of this documentary as I tell you the success stories of Abna and other women whose lives have turned around now. I visited Abna in April 2018. I'm here again at Imuna to meet her. This time around, the story is different. She's elated and beaming with smiles as she welcomed me. This is because today, her days of anguish, despair and hopelessness are over. Abna is optimistic about the future now because she has successfully undergone surgery at the Catholic Women's Hospital in Mankasim.
My situation is better now. In fact, God has been good to me.
She's not the only woman fortunate to have had the successful surgery. Essie's son is also one. Here is Essie telling me about her condition the last time I visited her.
I leak urine anytime I sit.
Dr. Gabriel Ganeglo is an obstetrician gynecologist and a trained fistula surgeon at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. He was part of the medical team that operated on Essie and Abna. According to him, the two benefited from a 100 in 100 initiative, which was launched by the UNFPA and its partners in May 2018.
Essie's surgery was relatively less complicated compared to that of Abna, and we are very confident that Essie will be healed and so will Abna also be. Very interesting to note that both of them were within half an hour of a fistula repair center, but they had to take your documentary for us to see that they were there. And we commend the Assemblyman highly for being responsive to the plight of the two who live in his constituency.
The impact of Essie's condition at that time was not only evident on her, but also on her family. Here is one of Essie's daughters, Mary, narrating their ordeal to me when I first visited them in April 2018.
My mother's clothes get wet every day. When she goes to the market, she's turned away because of her condition. We are helpless. It worries us that my mother is unable to work because of her condition. I feel sad for her and sometimes cry. So we need your help.
Mary's prayer has been answered. She's hopeful her mother can now work to cater for their needs.
I am happy my mother has undergone surgery. She can now work to take care of us. Thank you all.
It seems, however, Essie is yet to recover her self-confidence and esteem even after undergoing the successful surgery, as she could barely open up to me again.
By God's grace, I am better now after the surgery.
But just like the last time, it was Acey's mother, Mami Prim, who was rather vocal about her daughter's condition. As a concerned mother, Mami Prim tells me prior to the surgery, she was scared of the outcome as this was her daughter's first operation.
Operation me fear in prebiala and yebi. Until mushro had maybe okra baba, had a okra ma. Yamina dumala.
I was very scared on that day, but by God's grace, everything was successful.
Maybe no one sa. Sancho, little boy yellow, maybe what a poor. Not a poor man come at the shaman. Before I will make it.
My daughter no longer leaks urine. I therefore give thanks to God for this.
The thought of undergoing a surgery is one that tends to put fear in many people. But for Abna, who had undergone more than one surgery to correct the fistula, she did not harbor any fears or doubt at all prior to the operation.
I had undergone more than one surgery, so I wasn't afraid of this one. The thing is, you'll have to undergo the surgery to get healed.
For Abna and Acey, the trauma and shame of living with a dehumanizing condition seems to be over for them because of their successful surgeries. But Grace was still grappling with the cost of sanitary pads to keep herself neat and dry. Here is Grace Esieko.
I use toilet roll because that is not expensive like sanitary pad. Also, I cannot afford the pad every day to help me keep clean, neat and dry.
Grace's plight and that of other women featured in the documentary, which aired in June 2018, touched the heart of a philanthropist in the United Kingdom, Yakoba Deborah. She sent some incontinence pads to be distributed to them to help alleviate the situation. This provided some respite for her while waiting for a miracle to undergo surgery. Here is an elated Grace after receiving the items.
I am overwhelmed by this gesture. At least, it is good that someone has thought about me and sent me these items.
Grace was not the only beneficiary. Kuka also got her share of the sanitary pads.
I don't know what I've done to deserve this kind gesture from people I don't even know. I thank God and pray to God to continue to bless and give them strength to continue to help me.
As is the case with most women living with obstetric fistula, having a job or engaging in any form of economic activity comes along with several challenges due to the nature of the condition.
And only dear, me pa. If you say I didn't basana, not me what it me. Esa, na me ferry.
You know, it's very difficult to sell with this condition. I always feel uncomfortable when I'm in the midst of people, especially when I have to ease myself. In such instances, I give the excuse that I'm going to buy something, then I leave their company. I feel shy because of my condition. Sometimes, even when I change clothes 10 times in a day, my whole body will still stink or smell of feces. To avoid all this embarrassment, I just isolate myself.
Grace's passionate cry for help to be lifted out of this distressing condition was very loud.
Things are very difficult for me. I sometimes have to beg for food. My mother can no longer support me. She's used all her money on my condition.
Many months down the line, it seems the heavens finally responded to Grace's plea for intervention. Here is Dr. Gabriel Ganyaglu on 21st of May 2019 in an interview on JoyNews, narrating how the documentary caught the medical team's attention.
Sometimes it can be very, very complicated, and it will take 2 or 3 surgeries to correct.
Worst case scenario, how can you describe to us the worst case scenario?
One of the worst cases I've seen is the one you just showed.
This lady.
And I was with Beryl when she came over. We're trying to do a follow-up story on this, and I have to commend Beryl for this report. Twisted by birth revealed this patient to us because she actually defaulted in treatment. Okay. This was a patient we were looking after, and at some point she was off radar.
Wow.
So at a point we all feared the worst had
happened.
Thought
she must have died.
But various reports revealed to us that she's still there.
Oh wow.
And so when an NGO approached us with some money to treat patients, we reached out to get her back into hospital for care. So hers is very complicated.
Again, Dr. Ganyaglu revealing that indeed there is hope for Grace after the surgery.
There's good news for Grace. We did surgery for Grace yesterday.
Oh wow.
Because the British in Ghana Society brought us some money to treat fistula patients. And when we looked at the spectrum of cases we had, she was one of the patients that the panel decided should be brought on board. So just yesterday, Grace had surgery. I'm just waiting before I get in touch with Beryl because I know she'll come at me. She's been combing the corridors of power, trying to raise funds to just treat patients. Patients she doesn't know from Adam, particularly Kuka Sichi from Wild West municipality that she met. She's so touched by this patient. She's literally gone wherever she could go.
It's a journalistic instinct.
Trying
when you
to
tell
get
the story, you want
care
to
for
get
patients. You see, and so if we have people this committed to fistula, you find that the misery of the patients can be mitigated. And it takes money.
It's been 5 months after the surgery. I'm catching up with Grace here in Accra after she attended a medical review. Grace recounts her feeling when she received the miraculous call.
In fact, that day,
When I received the call that day, I became very sad. This is because thoughts of undergoing another surgery filled my mind. But I decided to put everything in God's hands. I thank God that the surgery was a success.
She also tells me fears, doubt, and uncertainties crowded her thoughts on the day of the surgery.
Doctor said, Thomas, Tuesday na or said Thomas na mon family kono. Na me yemu shishime. Edu theater nyina na me yemu shishime.
I was very nervous on the day of the surgery. In fact, I became more frightened when I got to the theater. Today, I thank God for taking the fear out of me. I came out with smiles.
Grace admits some remarkable changes have happened in her life after the surgery. According to her, she no longer feels humiliated because days of houseflies hovering around her are all now in the past.
It's the first no, na me na ma bon se once na bo me ho to say obi a ma pro ade bi e double asuna apro. By the say no, medanyamia se since me yes.
The smell always brought houseflies all around me. But to the glory of God, that situation is over now because of the surgery. I can now walk with so much confidence and happiness. I thank God that He's delivered me out of this horrible and embarrassing situation.
Dear, nipa to me, you know, Miss Metumi, aye, and the BB and Nameho, medanyamia si bebre, send me and nam sakunyanoso. Cause na ya dear a hammy pan, not in fact, not me pesa me couldn't pum, cratch, say me couldn't pum, and once na be betting ye miama, as I said, be a medable as nama pro. As I said, dear, nimpa could be a me so miss me yet to know, say Miss Metumi a could be. Timmy Danyamia se passing a mere you may frisa or how.
Life beyond corrective repair can have intense emotional, social and economic impacts for women and their families. Abena, one of the beneficiaries of the 100 in 100 initiative by the UNFPA and its partners, says she now depends on relatives to survive after her successful surgery.
Niska. Sir,
I don't have money. I just called a friend for a 20 Ghana cedis loan, but that is yet to hit my mobile money account.
My friend is on Ramis can also bring a 20 cedis adama. Or there are 2 mamma and I'm quite. No quiet crying in Panas on fine to me, this I
Rose Mante is a public health nurse at the Catholic Women's Hospital in Mankasim, where Abena and Essie had their surgeries. She has been mobilizing women for fistula surgery for the past 12 years. Rose believes reintegration of these women into the society is very paramount, as that would help boost their self-esteem. She's, however, of the view this task requires a collective effort.
After the surgery, these women would have suffered so much for so long that most of them don't even have any work doing. So it's not easy for them to go back. We can have some psychologists and clinical psychologists, some other volunteers to help us, to help them train their mind that they are okay now, they can go back to the society, they can go back to work. And then if we have some people also to help them, give them something small, like give them training on whether hairdressing, whether farming, or if stairing or whatever, dressmaking. I think it's going to help them boost their morale to go back to public so that they also go back to lead a normal life like any other woman.
Dr. Ganaglo also believes counseling for these women and community education is very critical after surgery.
It doesn't often happen automatically. You have to help or support them with lots of counseling and then also educate the community so their mindset about them will change or their views on them will change. It's very frustrating for patients when after fistula repair, you're still stigmatized for having fistula. I mean, this is most unfair. But it will take a lot of community education to get the mindset to change that when you have fistula, you can get cured, and once you're cured, you no longer have fistula and you are like every normal person.
The nature of fistula, according to Dr. Ganaglo, it is important for these women to be assessed periodically.
Often they may fail without us really knowing why. Not always we can tell why. And a few times, if they go back to deliver in the same setting that created a fistula, then the fistula is likely to recur. And it's really heartbreaking to find the fistula you have repaired recurring because it's more difficult to do it subsequently. And this is clearly avoidable if the patient is counseled properly and the patient understands that subsequent deliveries should be in hospital and by cesarean section, there should be no reason why they should go back to their fistula days. But it does happen occasionally that after a fistula repair, the next pregnancy, the woman goes to deliver by herself and then gets a fistula again. Sometimes not their choice, because the labor may have started sooner than they expected and may have started somewhere in the night, so it's difficult for them to mobilize quickly and get to the nearest hospital. It can be very challenging for the patient.
Dr. Ganyaglo also strongly believes more financial support is required by the UNFPA and its partners to help alleviate the plight of many unrepaired and complex cases.
Fistula patients are the poorest of the poor, and they go through a lot of dehumanizing treatment. It is not their fault that they suffer fistula. And sometimes, unfortunately, their surgery becomes so complicated, and it will be our desire that anyone with the financial muscle or wherewithal willing to spend their money on this course should liaise with us, or the Joy FM team, or the Ghana Health Service team, or the Access Bank account, which is dedicated to the fistula patients, and put some money into it for the specific case of diversion for fistula patients who have failed repeated fistula surgery. This will be our wish, and so we'll be grateful for any help offered such patients in this regard.
For now, Abena, Essie and Grace can rebuild and move on with their lives after their successful surgeries.
They say, me kasa dia sisa. Nyame adom, nyame anam doctors so asisa me. If say kanin no na tena na ade ni si yeme no. Nyame afa doctors so.
I must tell you that lots of things have changed in my life. By God's grace, I am healed. Now God has used doctors and philanthropists to deliver me from this depressing condition. My first appreciation goes to God, because it's not everyone who survives after surgery. Even the fortunate or lucky ones sometimes develop complications.
Now me ni daso. Me nimpa nyina po me enne nyame na mo bi so emenne so ye frame Grace emenne so metise ya me da nyame ase.
But Kuka in Ladayiri in Wa West will continue to wallow in a life of misery, shame, stigma and poverty, and so will her family until the golden opportunity also comes for her to undergo surgery.
Nanya bleka na mama chiba ma bu moko chenje ende nya safo to na me chema ma nya safia ndi ka ma imatia na kuma anu yo pan ka ton pe me pa bata ka hu ka ma imane balpa ka ma tiera surgery na ngmen bana in song.
I keep praying to God to make my next surgery successful.
Ka me njara safia musuar sana kuma safo na de suar na mur ko to ba ni yopo na to bubu ko mba na dapo na nya libir.
What wrong have I committed to deserve such sickness? God, please help me to get money to buy my basic needs. All my clothes smell of urine.
Pena bume emenyira ka njuro namba yusuara nganya samena pena bume mu bora pa yakura na mun ka se mu beso kan ya kamanja vuru bebe ko ton kama lane ya karma ba kama kamanya busura na suwe asamne ka ton peya anda fwa ya bangba kamamba mbara na kwa pulwulu na busu to la ba tre libire nyira libi na dara samna bana inson mu ba pa ya gato soro ba pa ya le wafa The
consequences of obstetric fistula are far more than the visible medical condition. Beyond the impact of this medical condition, the social consequences are severe. Kuka's plight and that of other women still living with obstetric fistula continues to represent the inadequacies in the Ghanaian healthcare system. For Hotline Documentary, this is Beryl Ernestina Richter's report.